Okay, so let's take a look here at 10.2. And this is going to be another way to look at data. We did stem and leaf plots in the last lesson. So in this lesson, we're going to do something called histograms. And histograms are pretty easy here, but there's just a couple things you need to know. All right, so a histogram is basically just a bar graph. Okay, you guys should recognize this kind of a graph that shows the frequency, or how much something happens, of different intervals of the same size. Okay, so what an interval means is we're kind of having these buckets of numbers down here. So you can see here that we're measuring the number of CDs. Say CDs or compact discs used to have music on these. We don't really use these too much anymore. But say we asked, I don't know, a bunch of people, and we said, okay, how many CDs do you own? And so how many people said that they had between 0 and 9 CDs? Okay, and then so that covers nine values, right? 0 through 9. So all of our bars need to be 9 values. So here we have 10 through 19. How many people have 10 through 19 CDs? That's 9 values in between there, 10 through 19. And then we want to say, okay, how many people have 20 to 29? There's another 9 CDs. How many people have CDs somewhere in that range? And then lastly, how many people have between 30 and 39? All right. So what I want you to realize here is that we're not doing a bar graph for one number, right? In this case, we're doing a bar graph for a span of 9 numbers, right? It's not always going to be 9, but in this case, that's how we divided up the data evenly. Okay, and then this frequency over here is just basically showing, the frequency is just showing, okay, how many people said this? Well, here we can see that 4 people have between 0 and 9. 3 people have between 10 and 19. Only 1 person has 20 to 29 CDs, and here 2 people have 30 to 39. Okay, that's all histograms are. So let's take another look here, closer look. Okay, so here we have how to make a histogram, and one thing I want you to know here is that another name for this chart right here, or this histogram, is this is a frequency table. Okay, so a frequency table, and what we're saying, what frequency means is like how much does something happen, how frequent is it? All right, so we're saying, okay, this is showing the number of laps people swam in a pool. So what is the frequency? How many people swam between 1 and 3 laps, right? Notice we have a span of 3 there. All right, 1 through 3 is 3 different numbers, okay? A range of 3 numbers. Here we go, 4 to 6. This is another range of 3 numbers. 7 through 9, 7, 8, 9, that's 3 numbers. 10, 11, 12, that's 3 numbers. And then 13, 14, 15. So notice these buckets of these numbers are the same size. They all have 3 values in them, all right? And so our frequency is, okay, how many people fell into this bucket? How many people fell into this bucket? 4. How many people swam this bucket? 0. Okay, so it's a frequency table. Now what we do is we draw and label our axis. So our frequency is usually always going up the y-axis. Okay, and then in this case, the number of laps goes along the bottom. Okay, so frequency, you can remember, this is always going to be how tall our bar gets, right? This is usually how you're going to see it. All right, so we have our different buckets here, our bins, right? Here's our first bin of 1 to 3, second bin of 4 to 6, third bin of 7 to 9, 10 to 12, and 13 to 15. And then we can see, hey, the number of people that swam 1 to 3 laps was 11. All right, here we go, right in between 10 and 12, there's 11. Okay, 4 to 6 laps, 4 people swam that. Nobody swam 7 to 9 laps, so notice there's not even a bar right here. Right? And then so on for 10 and 12 and 13 and 15. They're pretty straightforward, but yeah, let's practice one here. Have you make one on your own. The hardest part is going to be deciding how many numbers to split these buckets or these bins into. Okay, let's take a look on the next slide here. Okay, so here we have an on your own. So you're going to be making a histogram now. So this is a frequency table here. We just kind of went over that in the last slide. It shows the ages of people riding a roller coaster. Okay, so it actually splits up your data for you. You just got to make a histogram here. So we have people that are between 10 and 19 years old, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, and 50 to 59. And this is the frequency saying, hey, okay, how many people are in this bucket of this age group? I like to call them like buckets or like groups. How many people are here, okay? So go ahead and pause it and try to draw out a histogram in your journal, and when you're ready, come on back. Okay, so I actually think these are pretty fun, but okay, so here's we made a little graph here. So along the bottom, we're putting our different bins of ages. So we have 10 through 19 right here, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50. And notice there's no spaces in between them, right? They're just right next to each other. And then along the top here, I guess I should have labeled these here. This is the frequency. I'm just going to kind of abbreviate there, the frequency, and here's the age down here, okay? So now we're going to make our bars on our bar chart. So for 10 to 19, let's go ahead and do that one first. Let's use a red here. You can see that we have a frequency of 16, all right? So that's going to go all the way to the top of our chart right there. So we're going to go all the way up, and you would just color this in. All right, and then 20 to 29, you can see we have 11 there. So 11 is going to be right here. So we just kind of eyeball it and then take our next bar up like that. All right, so hopefully you get the idea here. Let's go ahead and fill in the rest. Okay, and there we go. So that's a completed histogram here. And you can see it's really easy to see how our data spreads out here, right? So there's way more people in this age group here than there are people in this age group here. All right, so it can tell us a lot of information. All right, let's go on to another example here. All right, so we have another histogram here, or we're going to start by looking at this histogram. This is showing the winning speeds at the Daytona 500, which is a car race. Okay, so they took all the Daytona 500 and say, okay, the car that won, what was its speed, right? And how many cars had that speed? How many times did this happen here, the frequency? And we got a couple of questions here. Let's look at our first question. Question A here is saying which interval contains the most data values, or which one maybe is the mode of this, right? So we can see very easily that right here in 150 to 159, right, cars that went between 100 and 159 miles an hour, that was the most cars, right? They had, it looks like about, I don't know, 19 or so here, maybe 19. Let's do that next to it here, right? And question B here says, okay, it says how many of the winning speeds are less than 140 miles per hour. Okay, well the cutoff, right, for here's 140 to 149, right, starting right there. So less than is going to be any of these numbers over here. Okay, so how many of the winning speeds are less? Well, we have about 1 right here, and we have 4 right here. So there was 5 altogether. 4 plus 1 is 5 that were less than 140 miles per hour. Okay, you just got to know how to look at this. And our last question here, how many of the winning speeds are at least 160 miles an hour? So 160 or higher is all right here. Here's 160 going this way. You can see we got about 7 right there, and we have 5 right here. And so we add those together, we get 12. Okay, so 12 altogether. So that's how we use this to tell what's going on with our data. Let's do an on your own here. All right, so I think most of you will probably not have too hard of a time with this, but let's take a look here. And so remember, it's okay to mess up. Usually it's just you're looking at something a little bit different, or maybe you just need to look at it a little bit differently. Okay, so the histogram down here shows the number of hours that students in a class slept last night. So, okay, how many students slept between 0 and 3, between 4 and 7, 8 and 11 hours, or 12 to 15 hours, man. Okay, and you got a couple questions to answer here. How many students slept at least 8 hours, and how many students slept less than 12 hours? Go ahead and see if you can figure out those questions on your own, and when you're ready, come on back. Okay, so if you look at question A here, we're looking for students that slept at least 8 hours. So at least means we gotta have 8 or more, right? At the very least, they slept 8, but they could have slept more than that. So we're gonna look at all these numbers that are over here. Okay, we could see we have 8 students that slept 8 hours right here, right? It's at the 8. Okay, and if we look here, about 3 students, if we kind of come across right here, this is about 3 students. Okay, slept that much, so we add 8 plus 3, and we get 11. So 11 students slept at least 8 hours. Okay, good. Getting plenty of sleep. All right, let's look at number B here, or question B. How many students slept less than 12 hours? All right, so let's find the cutoff. Okay, 12 hours is right here. So we want to see all the students that slept less than 12 hours, right? A little less than 12 hours is going to be all these students that are on this side of the line, okay? So let's count them up. We have 8 students here, right? We're at the 8. Another 8 students right here, and then we have 2 students down here. Right? So we add them together. We're going to get 2 plus 8 plus 8, and this is a total of 18 students. Okay, so 18 students slept less than 12 hours, right? They were in this group right here. All right, hopefully that helps you on the homework today. Pretty easy stuff, and you just got to use your brain a little bit. Good luck.